This is YouTube's University's Automotive Locksmith course. Intro to the TOY38R keyway, lesson number 7, All Keys Lost Part 3, featuring dead keys. Let's get to it, guys. What do you do if you take a job with the TOY38R keyway, but you don't have the leashy, and when you pull the lock, there's no key code? Well, let me show you. Okay, let's make some dead keys. You're going to need 4 TR40 key blanks, your key cutting machine, and this spacer is optional. So we're going to start by we're going to go straight to the key blink. You can also go to the year, make, and model of the car, and it should pop up the keyway, but we're going to do it this way. We do have the 1.5 cutter, and one cut all the way. We're going to go make 2 all the way. Now we're going to go 3 cut all the way. Now 4 cut all the way. So here we have our depth keys. This is a 4 cut, as you can see, it's pretty deep. 3, 2 cut, and 1. And this is just something I do. I like to stamp whenever I make depth keys and stuff. I like to stamp it just to make it easier. You can usually tell by looking at it, but I just do this. See, 1 cut right there. I mean, it could be a little more visible, but that's fine. Now, 2 cuts. There we go. Oops, I'm gonna redo this one. Four cut right there. So these are our 4 depth keys, as you can tell. So now that we got our depth keys, step 1, take lock apart. I like to have this tool. It's used mainly for residential, but I find it works well for automotive as well. You take off the C-clip. You know, sometimes it's a little hard, but let's see. You lose them. Let's see. There we go. Perfect. Take off this tailpiece. And you just twist to the left and just take this off. Boom. Now you just have the cylinder. And sometimes when you take out the cylinder, the wafers will be falling apart. This one isn't, because you can tell it has grease. So thankfully it has grease. If not, you know, be prepared to take it out. You know, sometimes you'll just have to, you know, take it out with the key, with any key inside. But yeah, so that's step 1. We have our wafer locker here. Out, and we have our depth keys. Now we're going to use our depth keys to decode and get the biddings. So we're going to start by putting in the 1 cut key, and we're going to look for all the flush ones. Alright, so let's see. So right away, I can tell that the wafer number 1, it's flush. So I'm going to put 1, the first one. 2 looks like it's sticking out a bit, but so I don't think it's, yeah, definitely, I don't think it is, but you know. And that seems to be the only 1 cut, from what I can tell. Because all of the wafers are sticking out. I kind of think the position number 2 is a 1 cut as well, actually. I kind of think. Because it does look kind of flush, but let's see what happens when I put the 2 cut. No, 2 cut. The 2 position is a 2 cut. So we'll put 2. 2 cut is not a 3. And then it feels like this is a 2 cut as well. Position number 4. So we got so far. Position number 5 is kind of sticking out. I don't think it's flush. Yeah, it's definitely not flush. Well, it's hard to tell. It'll be easier to tell once I put in key number 3. Key number 3. I'm gonna say that that number 4 was flush with 2, and then the last, then position number 7 is 3, possibly number 8, but we'll see. Yeah, I think number 8 was also number 3. Number 3 is a 4 cut. This is what I got so far. And it looks like number 6 is also a 4 cut. So I feel like I have the bidding. But let me just double check number 6. Yeah, I'm gonna go that. Let's see. Oh well, I do believe that this is the bidding for the lock. As you can see, sometimes it's kind of hard to tell with these older locks, and I do want to say no in the future. I'm gonna make depth keys with the Blitz once I have it up and running. But yeah, for now, the Dolphin does an okay job of making depth keys. So let's make a key. So step 3 is cut and test the key. This was what we decoded. I do want to say find the bidding. It does pull a code. That does seem accurate, so let's see. Placing key, I'm just gonna eyeball it because I've done this enough. Find the key. Let's see. Oh, it does appear the key is flush, and we successfully made a flush key. And for this car, if if you made it, you successfully made the key for the door, then the key would work for the ignition as well, as long as the ignition door match, which they usually do for these vehicles. So now we're gonna put the lock back together. Here's our key. There we go. So you can see it turns. So once we put it back together, it will turn. Stick it out because it's got a key, so the cylinder stays in place. You can push it out technically, but hold on. Now you're gonna place this. So this little thing, you're gonna put towards the end, as you can see right there. You're gonna spin, twist it, and then it's gonna hang on. Perfect. Now you have the little spring-loaded mechanism. So now, boom, boom. Oops, better be careful. Oops, wrong way. There we go, perfect. Tailpiece back on. And we're gonna put the C-clip back on. There we go. Perfect. Now let's put it back together. And in real life, you would have to put this door lock back into the panel, but usually that I put the panel back together in like 5 minutes. So yeah, that would be the end of the job. Put the door panel back together, collect your money, and this is All Keys Lost Part 3. Okay, my final thoughts. So this is a good method to do it. Is say if you for example, you don't have the leashy, you know, because like I mean, these cars they pop up for me, and I've used leashy pretty much every time except a handful of times. But generally, I've used leashy for these jobs. But they are rare. I'm not gonna lie. So you might not find it beneficial to get the leashy. You know, maybe it's just easier for you to pull the door panel, which you know generally it takes me like 5 minutes to pull the door panel these days. You know, and pull the lock out. So this would be a good way, and a lot of the times, I think it is important to be prepared for this because a lot of these vehicles, like the locks get drilled out. I've gone to repair these and swap out the locks and repair them. You know, so just keep that in mind. And keep that in mind, and keep track of the C. If you do have to take off the lock, keep track of the C clip because this is flown. When I first did this, it flew off somewhere, and I didn't have a spare one, and I was kind of embarrassed. I pulled a bunch of them from the junkyard, from random cars, so now I have plenty of these. So yeah, just keep track of these. And yeah, so if you guys want to keep seeing these content like this, like, comment, subscribe, and thanks for watching, guys. Beginner Locksmith signing off.